All right, my daughter picked up a bunch of eggs, so I've got a lot now that spring is coming. And this is an older batch. This is some that we picked up the other day. So we're gonna start with this. One thing to know is it takes about something like 23 days for an egg to hatch. So make sure you actually plan it out. Don't go on vacation when everybody's hatching. So check your calendar and plan backwards. So for us, it'll be something like, when can I move them outside? Are we here? Can I watch them for a bit? And then I need them to be in the house for about 3 days. And then I need them to be hatching for 23 days. So you can work out the math backwards. And I'll go show you what we do downstairs to get ready. All right. So we're using this Brinsa incubator. And I like this. You can fill it up. You can not fill it up. It's totally up to you. This guy has got some teeth that is going to sit in here, and this is going to rotate. So you have to put this in the right way. I've messed that up before, and I wondered why they were never rotating. So that's just going to go over here, and then we're going to take these guys and just seat them across. And then as this goes back and forth, it rotates them. Anyway, I'll put the rest of them in later. So the eggs, what we're going to do is we collected these the other day. I'm just going to start off by putting the date on them all. Actually, I don't even know the day. You know what today is?
March 12th.
12th? So I probably picked them up on the 11th. So I'm just going to write an 11 on all of them and then drop them in. It wasn't the 11th, but probably the 9th, 10th, and 11th. But it's close enough. So I'm going to set these all in here. And when you're hatching your own eggs, not all of them are going to hatch, and I don't really know why. Whatever, it's nature. So do more than you think. That way you get enough of them. Also, if you've got new small birds that are laying eggs, you'll notice that the egg sizes are going to be different. I wouldn't use the smallest eggs. So brand new hens that are laying, or hens that are brand new at laying, are going to lay a lot smaller egg. And I don't know if those are actually viable. So this guy's like super tiny, so I probably am not going to use that one. Let me see if I can find one of the bigger ones. Here's one right on here. So if you look at the size difference, maybe it's, oh, now I can't use that one. I just dented it. So if you have an egg that's dented, don't use it. That one just got off the list. Oops. Anyway, so label them. I'm going to label them. I'll put this all in here and we'll keep filling this up. I've got it set that I want to start them on a Sunday, and 23 days later, I'll still be here so that we can get them out and move them in, and then leave them inside as they hatch. I'll show you the setup that I'll go ahead and put it out there. We're not ready for it yet, but at least you'll have an idea what it looks like. Okay, so Olivia and I have set this up. We took all the 11s, and I'll go grab some more. And if I get to the date that I want, I'll replace the back row with the newer egg. So I have used eggs, as long as you keep them cool and in a dark place, I've used eggs that are 30 days old and they still hatched. So I've used eggs that are a month and a half old and they still hatched. I don't know what the actual age range is on them, but I don't know. They're a perfect little container with airtight. I also, if you notice, I don't actually clean them off. I do brush them off, but I don't really mind having a little bit on there. It doesn't seem to hurt anything. Olivia and I are going to set up what they would need next, so you can see what that looks like. So we're gonna have to refill this with water so that it can pump through the system, and it's pretty easy. I'll walk you through that. We just have to plug it in and then let it go, but obviously I don't want to do that right now. It is probably wise, not probably, you definitely should clean this guy out between uses so that you get, I don't know, just clean. Like right here, I probably need to blow out this to get all the dust out. Okay, so the setup that we have put out. So this guy, he's gonna hatch. This will hatch about 40 eggs, and putting 40 chicks in one of these buckets is too much. Yeah, and they will crush each other over time. So we'll split them up. It'll look something like this. We've got the heat lamp set up so that it's connected to a pipe, and then it's just gonna hang over there. And then we'll put the food. I'll be right here in front of it, and then the water off to the back. Of course, I'll fill this up with some chips, but it'll look something like this with chips in it. I just don't actually have any chips at the moment. And that way they can get behind the food. If it's too hot, they can get away, or they can run under and get underneath it, and they'll self-regulate. And after about 3 or 4 days, if the temperature's okay, I'll move them outside. I also do put some lamps out there. So this is why I don't do this in the winter. But Olivia, what am I missing? Anything on the setup here?
No, I don't think so.
No. Anything that you found when we were raising them in here? Any advice you'd give somebody? Maybe like don't let your sister's friends come over and touch them all the time and drop them from...
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably a good idea.
Kids love to pick them up. Chicks love to jump. So if your kids are playing with them, great, but tell them to stay on their knees so that when the chicks jump, they don't die immediately. And so we'll set up 2 of these, and I'll put all of them in here until I get to about 20, and then I'll split them in half and then start putting them in each. And that way they can hang out. I usually keep them in the house for about 3 or 4 days, and then I move them outside. I've got a coop that I built specifically for that. So it's a predator proof, well, as much as I can make it. And then also I can put up where I have heat lamps in there as well. And there's lots of space. And I'll keep them in there for maybe a month, maybe 2, depending on just how it's going. And then I'll open the door, where I'll move them all or open the door and let them out. Okay, so there's a setup on the incubator, the next step anyway.